From every strand on the line of your reel, to the rods, to the anglers, to the lures on the end of your hook, let's talk about those big bass here on Co-Angler's Corner with your hosts, Rob Welch and John Stoudinger.
Good evening, everybody. I'm John.
How y'all are? Cajun Rob here hanging out with you.
Good evening, everyone.
Hey, good to have John back. Glad he's on the mend, feeling better. So glad to have you back, buddy.
I appreciate it. It was a rough day yesterday, but we got through it.
Oh, yeah.
We do have I feel honored every time she comes on, and she comes on every month.
Absolutely.
Violetta Talley, talking about social media and promotion and how it ties in with fishing and stuff like that. And it's definitely one of those episodes where you can learn a bunch.
You better have your notebook ready and your pencil sharpened.
There you go.
Guarantee you.
All right, so let's bring her on.
All right.
Oh, there we go.
There, that's better. That's better. Yeah, how's it going?
Good. Busier than ever, as you guys are. Everybody's busy now, I guess. We're getting into the season, and actually, I think everybody's been early with this. We're almost, I think we're on summer patterns already. We're post-spawn and on summer patterns most of our spots. So, so it begins. We're going in full swing.
Absolutely. It's a blessing and a curse at the same time.
Correct. I'm kind of glad the bed fishing's over with, because it was kind of like sporadic, and I hate derbies when everybody's bed fishing. But, I mean, it is what it is. But, it's kind of nice. So they're kind of getting to their summer patterns. So it's something that's a little bit more consistent, but we're still having we got some volatile weather coming tonight. But it's good. I like when the water goes up and down. Keeps everybody on their toes, including myself.
There you go.
Yeah. I just fished my first derby of the year last weekend, and actually made my first cast last weekend. So
how'd you do?
Terrible.
That's okay.
You didn't do that bad, man. You made points.
This is crazy. Everybody's up and down. So it's
it is. No, I did okay. I didn't expect to go out there and do a great job, being my first couple casts of the year. But we flipped heavy mats, and being in New York, we don't do that a lot. So I was down on the Potomac, and that's all we did all day. Mm-hmm. And my hookup ratio wasn't very good. Yeah. It started out great, but then it just decreased. So, I missed about 10 bites, but it is what it is. Got some points going into the next tournament, so
that's good.
I'm happy.
Oh, yeah. Just so you don't zero, man. If you even catch one fish, a tournament on BFLs, you'll make the regional.
Oh, yeah. And American Angler Outdoors says, good evening, everyone.
How's it going? How's it going now?
Andrew says, hey, guys.
Hey, Andrew.
American Angler Outdoors, my backyard.
Must be flooded.
Yeah, right.
Oh, no. He's talking about the river. Yeah, you was in his neck of the woods. That's right.
Yeah, I finally got to meet Al in person, so.
Oh, cool, man.
Mark Ewers is back saying, hey, everybody. So,
hey, how's it going, buddy?
As prepared as I was today, I sent Violet a message saying, what do we want to talk about? And then I almost forgot to send her the link. So we're going. She wants to talk about social media promotion and how influencers and how it works into fishing.
Absolutely.
And don't be afraid to jump up here with your questions, because she's more than capable of answering them.
We definitely got the expert in the house.
I've been talking about social media in general, but I figured we'd go on something a little more specific today. Everybody, I shouldn't say everybody. I'm surprised at how many people don't know, but I am, and I'm not surprised at how people don't know how you make income online. Because everybody obviously knows, everybody wants to make videos, and everybody wants to do social media for many reasons. And a lot of people don't know the one main reason a lot of people do it is they actually get an income from it. And they're like, well, how do you make the money? Is it because people just hand you money? Do you get money from merchandise? And so a lot of people don't know how social media is set up to actually give you an income from views and ads. And it's a very complicated algorithmic system, but it's, and I still don't know it 100%, but as long as you know kind of how it works, people realize there's two things you're going to realize when you know how it works is, yes, it's an excellent way to get income. And it is one of the hardest ways to get income, especially now. And it's a compounding income. So it's one of those things when you start social media, if you really start to get up there and start getting a good following and you do it right, and it takes time. It never really happens overnight. You start making more income faster. So it takes a long time to generate some income. And then once you start to generate it, if you can continue in that process correctly, it'll compound faster and faster and faster. And then you'll reach a peak, but you can still build on it. Because there's a point in time where everybody in social media, they start out, they're going to get 0, 100 followers, 500 followers, whatever. That 1,000 mark's kind of hard to hit. And then you got like these milestones, like 10,000, 30,000, then they catapult to 100,000. Then you're stuck there for a while. And everybody's like, well, when do you make income? And there's a lot of questions that I get that people just don't realize what's going to be done in social media. Because, income drives everything. I mean, that's how it is. You can't really fish unless you have income, and you're not going to make money winning tournaments. I hate to tell people, I mean, there's, you always got that one guy who's always winning that, week derby and whatever, but it's still a couple $100 isn't going to make a good paycheck. No. So you got to find other ways of making an income, and as well as promoting yourself. It kind of all goes hand in hand, because when it comes to social media, I mean, you can knock out like 10 birds with one stone, really, but you got to do it right, and you got to cross all your T's and dot all your I's, or vice versa, depending on what you're doing. But it can be a good source of income, but some people don't even realize they leave money on the table. I mean, I think I was talking to David Dudley at a Bassmaster Classic years ago, and he was saying, oh, yeah, I have like 10,000 or 12,000. I think I can make any money. I said, well, did you turn your ads on? And he's like, I have to turn my ads on? What is that all about? And I go, you have money? Well, he doesn't know. Nobody knew.
Yep.
He's relatively new. But yeah, you're like, oh, no, he just lost out on all that money. And he's literally making videos. And I mean, he knew right away. It's hard because there was nobody to coach anybody. Everybody was figuring it out. And now that everybody's willing to coach you, but if you got money, I'll coach you. And then you don't know if they're telling you the right thing, because why would they teach you how to compete against them? It's like, so there's a bunch of different ways. There's a generic way of doing it, but it again comes down to, it's going to take a long time and it's a lot of hard work. But if you can stick the battle and remain consistent, you can start to generate a couple $100 a month. That's some income. And then you could just keep rolling it over. You just got to keep going. Persistence is the key. I mean, persistence definitely, and quality eventually, but you'll go up there in quality. But yeah.
I just want to say hi to Chad Lar. He owns a small business in my area. He does a lot of my printing and stuff. Barking Googers is saying personality is gold. Hard to make a living when everyone hates your guts.
That's true. But here's the key about marketing. Any type of marketing is good marketing. I hate to say it. That's why some of these guys do these prank videos, and they'll do these videos where they're doing stupid stuff on the water. Like I'm going to fish with a Barbie pole. Me and my buddy are going to get Barbie poles and we're going to fish, something just to get people's attention. But that's not but yeah, you're right. If they hate your guts, they probably won't. The problem is you're going to get a lot of negativity comments. The big thing right now on TikTok and social media for a lot of these guys is the banning of celebrities and companies, because if you can ban or block people, it's the blocking, not banning. But if you block enough people, they don't make a revenue. So you got these celebrities who they just get, being a celebrity itself is you already have all this attention on you. You throw a TikTok page up, you automatically have several 100,000 followers because people already know about you. It doesn't matter if you're good or bad. They just know about you. They want to know what's going on with you. They live through your life. And so that's what they do. So the more views they get, they're going to get ads, and the more people watch those ads, they're going to get a revenue. And we can get more in depth with that later. But if you decide to block them and they start losing all those followers, guess what? They're losing their income. So if you hate your guts, they start blocking you or banning you, you don't get any views. The algorithm doesn't pick you up. It doesn't start to rank you higher. And then you don't get any income because you're not getting the views. And granted, there's only one way of making income. There's about 5 different ways of solid ways of making income with your social media channel. But one of the biggest ones is ads that play on your, like in YouTube especially, you have ads that play beginning, middle, end throughout your video. Every time that video plays, you get paid. And depending on what the market is it plays to and how many people are watching your video depends on how much you get per video. And that's all. No two people make the same amount of income. And there are, you can look it up. There are the bigger ones will make anyway. And they do make hundreds of thousands of dollars a month.
Oh, yeah.
Not rare, there's millions, but yes, hundreds of $30,000, $50,000, $100,000 a month. You think it's not true? It's true. They're making 100%. But that number is like a seesaw. It can be 20 grand in a month. It could be 2 grand the next month. It could be 100 grand the third. You don't know what your income is. As long as you keep consistent, steady videos. But yeah, here's the problem. You start making $100,000 a month, even $10,000 a month. Let's go with something a little bit less. And then all of a sudden you say something and it hits it triggers the right amount of the wrong thing on the right amount of people. And everybody blocks you, bans you, unsubscribes. Boom, your 10 grand's gone every month. That quick from you saying one little word or commenting on one little thing. So you have to be careful. That's the problem. Now you're going to live in a glass bubble. So social media is a double-edged sword. You have to be careful. But we're talking there. That's when you get really up there. But yeah, look what happens. Any controversy in the fishing world, man, you better believe everybody knows about it. Or if somebody's got a cell phone in the wrong place and you're there and you say something,
oops,
you better be careful. I mean, I represent all these companies on my jersey, the companies on my wall. Any one of them can drop me in a minute just because I say something off key somewhere. I don't even mean it, or it's out of context even. I may have just said, well, so-and-so said this, and I don't agree with it. But then in the video, that person only played so-and-so said this, or I said this. I didn't mean they did, it's out of context. So it sounds like I said something, but I didn't. So you have to be very careful. Very careful.
Well, it's like you notice all the clickbait. The guys always do clickbait. Eventually that bites them. It's like the boy that cried wolf. Yeah. After about 3 or 4 times, people say, that's just him. So you got to be careful.
Exactly. And clickbait, just because all they got to do is click and let the video play. And once it starts playing, that ad plays, because it's the first thing that plays, they get paid for that ad. So every video, and then you got the merch and you got all the other stuff. But yeah, the first way is you create a video. Let's just take YouTube, for example, because Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, those are different algorithms. They have YouTube's the most sophisticated because they play ads. So you create a video, say you're a YouTuber and you want to start, and you'll start a video. The best thing to do is just start posting videos. The more videos you post, the better, but they have to have good quality, good content, a reason for people to come back and watch them. Not just, hey, I caught fish, or hey, this is who I am. Well, who cares? I mean, it doesn't matter who you are. What are you bringing to the person who's watching it? What makes them want to come back and watch more? So that's what the question you got to ask. Is it informative? Is it funny? Is it entertaining? Is it emotional? Or is it you just showing off? I mean, you got to say what's going to bring those people back, and you make videos on that and your strong points. Then what happens is over time, it'll catch a wave eventually. If you do really well, it could take days, it could take months, it could take years. When you get to a certain point, I believe on YouTube, I have to double check it again, but I think it's 1,000 subscribers and you have to have 4,000 hours of viewing, meaning that there has to be consistently 4,000 hours being viewed by the public. Because I can have, like right now, I have a bunch of videos online. I have 1,200 subscribers, 1,100 subscribers. I should be making money. So when you reach that threshold of those two things, then you could turn your ads on and then you start gaining income automatically. They just send you, they put it in your account because everybody's got a YouTube account. And you can actually look at the statistics online, and people can message me and I can tell you more about it. You can also Google it. And you'll see the statistics and I'll tell you, then you start to see what age groups are watching you, how long they're watching you for, what are your more popular videos. You start to get reports, and this is all automatic through YouTube, being a YouTube person. Now you don't have to turn ads on. You could just make videos and not make any money off of it. But why would you? Why wouldn't you? Those ads are going to play either way. There is a place where you can do private, but you don't have ads, but that's up to you if you just want to show videos. But to make an income, that's what happens. So every time an ad plays on your video, you get paid. And what determines what ads play on your video determines on a lot of factors. What's the age group that's watching your videos? My age group is anywhere between 10 to 65. It's a wide age group. The wider the age group, the better you're off, the more money you're going to make, because then they can serve more ads. Meaning, so now Bass Pro Shops can advertise on me. I can have kids stuff, adult stuff. You have a big wide funnel, more ads that play on your channel, the more money you can make. Wider funnel. If it's just like, I'm only catering to women between the ages of 30 and 45, that's a really small funnel. There aren't too many companies that are just looking for that age group and that demographic. So the videos that you have, if they can cater to a wider age group and more diversity, then more companies that want to cater to that demographic are going to want to play on your video. And YouTube determines what videos play on your channel. Right. So and then you can also say, well, I don't have alcohol or all that other stuff, so they're not going to play those types of videos on your stuff. So say like my fishing videos, I have kayak videos and some fishing pond hopping videos that I have in the past. I haven't done any in recently. So that's going to cater to a wide age group. So all of a sudden I'm going to see ads like Bass Pro Shops is going to say, they're going to make an ad and tell YouTube, we're going to give you money. Play our ad on videos that have ages between 12 and 65, men and women that fish for bass. That's how specific they can get, because the algorithm will go through your entire video, all the audio within seconds, and pick up all the words and know exactly which ads or which videos have the words bass, fishing, blah, 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 blah. And they're going to play that video on your channel automatically. And then what happens is all the money Bass Pro Shops puts in, YouTube takes a percent, you take a percent. So that's how it works. That's how you get income from just making videos. But you have to reach that threshold. Now, I have the threshold of 1,200 subscribers, but I haven't been making new videos, so I'm not reaching the 4,000 hour play mark. So I might only get about 400 to 600 hours because they're just old videos, so they're not getting watched as much. I may have the subscribers, but older videos aren't getting watched as much. If I kept putting out new videos, I would reach that 4,000 hour threshold and my ads would turn back on again and I would make money. Now, if you go to any of my videos, there's ads playing on them, but I'm not getting paid for them.
Right.
So it's like you're leaving money on the table. And some people, you can make a full, like we were talking, 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 a year, but that's really hard to do now because everyone and their mother is making videos. Everybody's putting videos out there. So every video that goes out there is working against you if you're really trying to put it out there. And then you have to go and market outside of YouTube. It's not enough for people just to search and find you on YouTube. You have to go and market and throw your video out there and say, hey, and that's where you get into this clickbait because you're making people want to click on it. And they're like, well, I'm already here anyway. Might as well watch it. And then the ads play, they get paid. That's how the clickbait works. But you're right. If they click enough times, they're going to like, this isn't what I was looking for. This is stupid. This is not what. So they'll stop. They'll unsubscribe. So you have to be genuine. You have to be genuine. You have to be honest. You have to be entertaining, informative. It's a hard job. And you have to be consistent. Once you start putting videos out, the only way you're going to continue to make income is you continue to make videos. And that's one way. So that's how you make it out of your ad revenue. Is you just get to that threshold, put out the videos, they put ads on your video. The more people you can cater to, the better. Then you'll have a different variety. The more variety of ads that play, the more money you get made. And what you make per ad depends on the company, how much money they give, how many people, the demo. That's too much. You can make 10 cents an ad, 2 cents an ad, 20 cents an ad, $2 an ad, depending on what it is. And the flip side, if you have like a really specific niche, like say I'm only catering to female saltwater fishermen from Florida, and those are my videos. That's what they're about. Yeah, I'll get people from all over the world kind of looking at it, but it'll probably mainly be women who are in Florida fishing. So it's a smaller demographic, smaller window. But if there's companies that are specifically looking for that, they might pay more per ad because you are specifically targeting that demographic. Yep. And they're like, oh my gosh, Violet's getting every female angler in the saltwater fishing industry in Florida. We'll pay her $5 a view. And now I don't negotiate that. YouTube negotiates on my behalf. Yep. That's like, it's their platform. They actually own the rights to use your video as much as they want. Yep. People don't know that. So anytime you paste anything or post anything on any platform, they own the rights to use it. That's in your contract when you sign on. So you have to be careful where you put your stuff and what you put out there. The likelihood that they're going to make millions of dollars on your stuff is very low, but unless you're some huge celebrity. But then they have those agents and contracts and stuff in place.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of the gist of one way of making an income on social media. Just post to a good demo, a variety of people, and continue posting and do good quality videos. And then, of course, so that's how you start. And within that realm, Now, when you're making videos, you can now start making merchandise. You can start making shirts and hats. And while you're on your video, you wear that stuff. You say, by the way, if you guys are looking to have one of these hats by Miss Bates, if you click on the link below, so then you have to create a link, then you can now work with what we call print-on-demand companies, where you can have all these companies online that you can just say, hey, here's my design. I'm going to send it to you. You handle all the hats, the shipping, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to put the link down here. I'll get 20% of it. The company will get 80%, but all I'm doing is saying, click on the link below. That's all I got to do. So that's merchandise. That's the second way of making an income using the same social media. And that can be done videos, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, anywhere we can post a link. Then you got affiliate marketing. If you guys, I don't know if you know what affiliate marketing is, where I can promote a company and say, if you use my link below to Tackle Warehouse and you work with Tackle Warehouse, they'll give you a specific link where if somebody goes through that link to purchase what they want, they might get a 10% discount, but then I get a percentage of every sale because I'm promoting Tackle Warehouse through my video. So that's a third way of making an income. You can get percentage of sales. Amazon's got affiliate links, Walmart, Tackle Warehouse, pretty much a lot of companies now because they know the power of the influencer. They pay nothing for that link. You don't get paid until they get paid.
Right.
So normally with an ad, those companies put out a bunch of money and they don't know if they're going to get anything from it. Now, if with the influencer marketing, they're going to look for people like me and say, here's our link. We're not going to give you any money. Just post the link. As soon as we get money, we'll give you a percentage of the money. So it makes sense on their part to do that because they're not putting out anything out there and they know exactly where it's come from because my link is specific to me, my whatever. The customer doesn't see that. I see that. But I ask them, please come to go through my link below, and then it will then bounce back to me. And then Bass Pro Shops or whoever knows exactly how much I'm bringing in. And then I know exactly how much I'm making. So again, all through the videos and links you're already doing. And there you go. I like that little thing.
That's pretty good marketing right there.
That's the sixth way of making money, but that's the way that's how you can really get a lot of unfollows. So, but those are a couple of the main ways that people don't. The biggest one that people don't know about is how the ads work. They're like, these ads. They're like, yeah, but those ads are what are paying the income. And yeah, you could click through them and skip them. Some people do get paid more if they watch the whole ad and they know exactly how long and what parts of your video are being seen. I mean, it's all tracked. I mean, I could pull up all my history from it was 2017. I started making videos and I stopped in I don't even remember. I think I stopped in 2018. And they're old videos, but I need to pick it up again because it can be easy money once you get to that point. And I'm already there. All I got to do is just start making new videos. It isn't a lot, but it grows. It's an exponential thing and it's slow. But don't think you're going to put up a video and start making money. It's not going to happen. You have to hit the 1,000 subscribers. You got to hit 4,000 hours. That's a lot. That's a lot of viewing because most people only watch 2 to 5 minutes. That adds up for 4,000 hours. That's a long time. So the best thing is just go crank out the videos, do what you like, have fun with it. And then as you start getting the followers and you start getting the ads and everything, then you start doing the merchandise and then you start doing the affiliate marketing. I actually did the affiliate marketing before I even started making the ads. I had an underwater video in one of my perch fishing videos on Navy Pier in downtown Chicago. And I used this underwater camera from Amazon. And I know a lot of people ask me about it. So I posted the link. I said, if you're interested in one of these cameras, click on the link below. It'll take you right to the page. They didn't get a discount. But it was a quick link to get to the page because, people, path of least resistance, if you can have a direct link to that spot, they will use that link. They're not going to go and search. They just want to use that link. They used the link. I think I made $500 that year just on a couple people clicking on that camera and buying it, and that's also a good way to do fundraisers. Say, hey, if you make a link and anybody can be an Amazon affiliate. It doesn't require anything. You just got to do some sign up or whatever. And then you just go find the product. It'll say, make my specific link. You copy, you paste it in your video. Boom, you got a link. It's done. And then when the people click on it, now the cool thing is they don't have to buy that product. So if they click on the link, whether they buy that product or not, or they click through that link and they go to click to a different product, you'll get anything in that entire transaction as long as they don't click out of it. So it can be good money, but you got to get people to your video first. And that's the whole thing. So that's
a trick.
It can be compounding. Once you get people coming, then you hit all those aspects of the income, and you can really profit on it. But you got to be on top of it. It's a lot of juggling. It's a lot, and you have to stay on top of it.
Yeah, it's like snowball effect. It just snowballs. Yep.
It takes a long time to start that snowball, but once you get it started and you keep going and you stay true and honest and you do everything, it's great. But these fishing pros, that's why they all jumped on, because they're already popular. See, being in the tournament trail, they already got so many eyes on them that when they go and throw up a YouTube video, they automatically get 50,000. I mean, because that's how many people already know about you. I mean, only 1,000 people know about Violet in poor little McHenry, Illinois right now. I mean, it's nothing. It's not, I'm on the elite circuit, nothing. So people who know me, friends and family, whatever, some may or may not subscribe. And I have a lot of people who have no idea who I am or in other countries. They just like watching me. I got people because they're like, you're in Chicago and Navy Pier perch fishing is cool with the skyline behind you. And we think it's just so neat. I actually had a guy in New York who's like, I might want to visit there one day. So I watch your videos just to get a good idea of is this really true? Can I fish in downtown Chicago? Yes, you can. So, but what I found out is people who watch my videos, based on the questions they ask and the comments they do, is they want to learn more about the process of what I'm doing and how I'm doing it because of where I'm at. So I try to make my videos more of a process instead of like, here's a fish and here's one lure I use. Here's the whole process from start to finish. People love those. That's why unboxing videos are one of the top 3 on YouTube right now, is because you show the product from start to finish instead of what is advertised by the manufacturer.
Right.
So you get to see everything. So the process videos are huge. So from start to finish, how you do that stuff in the video, and then you're genuine, because then people are like, oh, she's the real deal. She can do it from start to finish. Somebody didn't hand her the fish, which I get sometimes still. Those aren't your fish. Somebody handed you those fish. Yeah. That's why I took the video and the photo. Yeah.
You have a great editor, by the way.
Thanks.
Now, you could also go out and sell advertising for your videos, correct?
You can, absolutely. You could. That's another. So, like, what's that? 4 income. So, 5th income is go to a sponsor and say, "Would you like to sponsor my video?" And then they'll give you whatever you. Again, it's so negotiable. I mean, it's all across the board. But your sponsor or somebody can say, "Give me your product or whatever. I'll make sure to advertise your product in my video. I'm gonna do a kayak fishing video, and but I'll use your bait, Berkeley, Chigger Craw, whatever. Well, I'll make sure to show it and then do a little blurb about it, post it, have the link, whatever. Then Berkeley can then give me the money for it and say, I'm going to sponsor this one video. That's why you'll hear some of the YouTubers say, this video is sponsored by so-and-so, because they gave them money to make it. And they make sure they mention them. So that's another way. But again, using this platform you're already making the video, might as well maximize. So you can do all of this by doing the work once, which is nice. But you guys still got to get to that point. You still got to shoot video, which can get hard on the water. I mean, I still have a GoPro up here on my desk that's still from me pre-fishing one day. I haven't even taken the card out. And I didn't really catch much, but I talked in the video a little bit, did a couple things. I'm going to just use it to make like short blurbs, because I don't have time to make 10, 15, 20-minute videos. It's a lot of editing. But even little blurbs, run the GoPro and then come back and just grab little snippets of it. Just like I was talking to you guys about the podcast, just take snippets of your podcast and you can get 50 pieces of content from one podcast. And I could do the same with the GoPro, but it doesn't do it any good when the card is still in the camera. So I have to get the card out and start looking at the video and editing it. That's where it gets hard. That's where I wish I had somebody who could do that for me.
Al with the American Angler Outdoor says, try selling advertising on a network level. He owns the American Angler Outdoor Network, which I have a channel on, which our show gets put on. So
networks can be hard. Yeah, networks can be hard depending on the network. There's, I have some people who still want to go back to TV, and I have still people who want to, do podcasts and all kinds. And it's hard because the market's so saturated, and you got to know who your audience is, and then you got to find your audience and cater to them. And it can be difficult. I mean, it seems like everybody's doing a podcast, everybody's doing audio stuff, everybody's doing YouTube, and a lot of people give up. But here's the thing is, if you just start it, keep going at it, persist at it, eventually people drop off. I mean, 95% of them aren't going to do what needs to be done. They're going to drop off. It's just going to take some time. And eventually, like me, I dropped off for a little bit. I started gaining traction and I dropped off just because I got, you get busy with other things. There's other pieces of income that go further. I had to work on it. I was starting a business and all the other stuff. Right. And then you're thinking, okay, now I got the fishing social media. I got my business social media and I got my personal social media. And then I have people who want me to do social media for them. So it gets difficult. And then you don't even have time to go on social media to do the research that you need to do everybody else's social media. So things get lost, but I do see a lot, and a lot of stuff doesn't change. It still comes down to the same thing. It's going to be a lot of hours, a lot of work up front, but you will get rewarded from the residual if you hang on. But it could be years. It could. Again, unless you're like, say, for instance, Trey McKinney in the Bass Elites right now. He gained traction real fast. He got a win. Now the camera's on him a lot. And now guess what happens? When the camera's on him a lot, everybody's going to dial into social media because they put it in the corner of the screen. So I bet you he jumped 50,000 followers overnight because of that win. So there's things that you can do on the flip side. So go win some tournaments. Easier said than done. Go do this. Go do some, like I do seminars. I get out there. I go to dealers. I get out there and get in front of people. That's another way of doing it because it's not all going to happen online. You can't just make a video, sit back and say, well, this is so awesome. I caught a 22-pound bass in Northern Illinois. Okay, that's great, but you're getting lost with everybody else. Nobody's going to know about it unless the right people see it and they put it in front of enough people, and that could take time. There are videos that are circulating now that actually happened 12 years ago, but everybody thinks they happened yesterday because everybody's seeing it now. Yep. And they're like, no, that video is 12 years old. You don't realize that's a lot of this stuff that you're seeing that, oh my gosh, it's trending, is old. It's 5, 7, 8 years old. It's rare that something now comes out unless it's something in the news or it's somebody that's up and coming that comes out. Like I'm talking specifically fishing, that you're going to see. I mean, there's like no different than baits that are old come back new again because somebody decided to market, the right company marketed it or manufacture it in such a way that it's getting traction. And same thing with social media. So slow and steady wins the race, and persistence is the key. Just got to stick to it and not give up. If you truly love it, just do it. But if you think it's just going to happen from doing it over and over again, it's not. You just you got to keep at it and keep improving. That's the big thing. Keep improving and stick true to yourself and true to who you are, and the right people will see you.
Yeah, and try to do something a little different. There's always a little different twist you can go. So I know some people are real successful. They found a little niche, a little something different.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and really, you got to be you, because what's going to happen eventually is you're going to burn out. And which it happened to me because I was starting to do videos. It's not like I was doing them every day, but I was doing like 15, 20-minute videos. Now, it's easy to shoot it all because you just shoot a bunch of stuff and then you're trying to set up for stuff. And you're like, oh, when did that happen? Now, then you come back to the editing room floor and you realize I have 8 hours of video. Now, you're not watching the 8 hours. You're watching probably 54 hours after you're done because you're going through over and over again. Like, wait a minute, when did I catch that fish? And then I got to do that edit and then all that stuff. And some of the videos are great. There's jump cuts. There's the audio cues up beautiful with it. I got underwater footage. But you don't realize that took 3 solid days to make.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if I'm going to get paid at all for it. And 3 solid days, that's to be taken away from my work or whatever, or fishing. And so it's a fine line. You just got to figure it out. Then there's not really any way of knowing what's going to go viral and what's not. Hence clickbait coming up and all that other stuff. So
Andrew Pulliam says, I'm a new YouTube game, but I've learned a lot. Put like the lake name in the title. When people search for a lake, it gets views. Probably other tournament fishermen.
Good point.
I was so that was one of the keys I was going to say. So the lake name in the title, obviously, if it's like a lake Shangri-La or lake, Snake Lake, a lot of people don't know what is that lake. But if you're going to put in like Gunnersville, or you're going to put in the Potomac, or you're going to put in Lake St. Clair, or like with this, just had the Sturgeon Bay Open around the time when that people are in the lake that they're searching for that. So I find out every November, my Navy Pier Perch video is on fire. I start getting comments. I just start getting views because in November is when everybody starts thinking about it. So you got to think about time. You got to think about also, for instance, A buddy of mine had a bunch. He would get 20 views, 30 views on a video, and all of a sudden I was looking through his YouTube channel, and he had 12,000 views on one video. 20 views, 10 views, 12,000 views, 5 views, 10 views. I go. So I looked at the title. It says unboxing the new Garmin LiveScope. So that was when it first came out.
Yeah.
So everybody was looking at it. Everybody's looking, and so all his other videos were fishing this, and then he said unboxing new Garmin LiveScope. Put it in the title. Well, guess what happened? He came up in search because he was one of the first ones to have that out. He got 20,000 views on it right away because everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, it's Garmin! It's trending." So that's another thing you could do. Yes, put name brands, all that stuff. There's no copyright on putting that in your title. But that's how people get clickbait too. You could put Garmin LiveScope in there and then never talk about it, or just mention it once and never even the video's not even about it. That happens. Yeah. Lakeside Fish by BFL and ABA anglers get searched a lot. Yeah,
absolutely.
So for sure, that's another. It's a strategy, and nothing is a surefire, but it's all these little tidbits that you can do. These layers. You can search for them online. There's so many different tips and tricks. Just stay away from being a clickbait or stay away from doing the stuff that's not genuine. Don't do the prank stuff. Don't do that. I mean, be genuine, stick to yourself. I mean, one of the biggest comments that I got in my videos was, I love your emotion. Like there's one particular video, somebody just sent me a comment saying, I love the pure raw emotion you had when you caught that king salmon from your kayak. Now, I forgot the camera was running. Now, I didn't swear or anything like that. I just was like, I think I remember, and I think I mentioned this before, I had my rod in the rod holder, and I don't know if you know, in a kayak, I was just kind of, I was old school. I got a paddle. I don't have the pedal. So I had to paddle a kayak, and I'm paddling, and I had this rod holder off the side. I'm like, well, I'm just going to troll until I get out to I was in Lake Michigan. I was in a harbor doing kings in fall, and paddling out the channel, and it was dark, so you could barely see anything. So of course the cameras are really bad when it comes to light, especially when it's dark. They're so sensitive that when you can see, the camera usually can't see even when it's dark. So I had this GoPro and I'm paddling, and all of a sudden, I had never caught a king salmon. I never trolled before. All of a sudden my rod bends over like I wouldn't believe, because it was a 20-pounder, and I had bass tackle on. I had just a medium heavy rod with like 12-pound test. I didn't know what I was doing. I just wanted to go out there, and it bent so hard I couldn't get it out of the rod holder. All of a sudden I see it bending over, and on the video you hear me saying, I got a salmon. What do I do? I don't know what to do. I don't know. And I'm telling myself, I don't know what to do. I thought the camera was rolling, and then I go, I can't get my rod out of the holder. What do I do? And I was yelling at myself. And the guy said he was laughing his butt off because he's like, it was so pure emotion. He goes, I enjoyed watching it because I felt like I was there catching the fish with you, and I didn't know what to do either. I was just what you were going to do. I caught the fish, but I was laughing at myself. It's embarrassing watching yourself.
Sometimes.
But they love the pure emotion, within reason. Yeah. And so they love that. So pure emotion is a good thing if you're genuine.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Andrew says,
videos. Yeah, yes. Well, there's, like, I don't know exactly what you mean for check for kids. I mean, there is there's where they do they're also going to check for you, but it was where you would say, is this kid friendly? Is it not? Is this adult only? What's your age group? Well, now they know that a lot of people found a way to cut corners. That's, oh yeah, it's for kids. And then what happens is ads will be served. And if you don't have kid friendly content, you can get banned or suspended because they'll know eventually. Right. So but people were doing it right in the beginning because, again, like I said, the bigger the funnel, the bigger the age group that is allowed to watch your videos or that's going to find interest in your videos, the better. So if you can make a video that can be like, say, well, it's not just, for instance, guys will do bass boat videos. Well, the bass boat videos really used to only pertain to people who could afford bass boats or have a bass boat. But now you got high school anglers or whatever. Now you can say, well, you can do this out of a kayak or a bass boat or from shore. And when you do a video that's like, oh, you can do it all, then you're appealing to a higher age group. So it depends on what the content of your video is. So if you can have a bigger funnel, more ads will be served up, hence meaning you'll have more money. And more people will be viewing it too. Oh, but you can check for kids, but they're going to check for you. Don't worry.
Yeah. I had an issue with that for kids with this, because you know how you got the like, subscribe, and the bell and everything. Yeah. Well, people weren't getting notified when I hit the kid friendly.
Yeah. Really?
So I ended up taking it off.
Was this recently? Because they had a glitch a while ago where you could tell the YouTubers were saying, "Oh, make sure you hit the bell on the subscribe because we're having a lot of people weren't getting notified." That's the problem. It's the algorithm. I mean, I'm dealing with the same thing right now with a selling platform. I'm dealing with Etsy. They constantly, since they're private platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, they're all private platforms. You are on their platform. You have to abide by their rules. They can change at any point in time. And the change could mean you can go from what happened to me. Unfortunately, I went from a really nice, healthy income to zero for an entire month. And when your income just goes away like this, that's scary. But you got to also realize you are on a platform that you have no control over. You can only control what's on your end. But at any point in time, they could shut you down, shut you off, go away, get banned. Because TikTok's, I mean, granted, it's banned already, but it's going to take 9 months to a year before anything happens. But that goes away. There are a lot of people who get all their income on TikTok, and it will be gone if that happens. So you have to be careful on what you do. And that platform can do whatever they want because you agreed to their terms by signing on. So you can't get mad about it. But yeah, it can happen. And the problem is, or an algorithm could change, and it could be their fault, and they could do something wrong. But you're going to get penalized for it because you're on the platform and you're part of it. So you have to be ready for that. Yeah,
he says right. Just an occasional cuss word, but try to keep those out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and I'm trying to figure this one out. I have the mouth of a trucker when I'm on the water, and
really,
it's horrible. It's terrible. It's so. Trust me, I want to be professional, and I do. I jump up and down. I say that fish has a lot of colorful names. If I miss him. If he bites and he comes off, he's definitely getting called a lot of names.
Oh yeah.
I never do it towards it's always towards the water, towards the fish. It's never towards the bait because I'm always mad at myself. So I just yell out in the air. But I obviously within certain company, I'm like, I'm not going to do it if I'm filming a TV show or of course, whatever. But when I'm out there, yes, there's some words.
It happens.
Pam Horn wants to know how blogs affect websites.
It's kind of a very general how blogs affect websites. So I'll give it to you in a couple different ways, trying to figure out how you're asking the question, because as far as blogs go, so say somebody, blogs are kind of, that's more of I'm not gonna say an older term, an older type of social media, because they're still out there. Blogs, there's several different types of blogs, vlogs, whatever you want to call them. Blogs themselves are considered, that's what's typed. Vlogs are video blogs or whatever. The blogs meaning they can affect the video. Like say if it all depends on the blog. So if you have a blog that's getting read by a lot of people, then yeah, you would tie that in with your video and get your social media going. It's all about linking and tying things in. The best way, like I said, it's just another form of advertising. If the blog is linking to your video, that also helps the algorithm. So the more stuff that's linking to you, then Google and YouTube, who are linked together because they own each other, or Google owns them, they will rank you higher because they see that you're more relevant. Google only wants to, and YouTube only want to promote the highest quality possible, and highest quality meaning on several ways. You're viewed a lot. You have really good reviews. You are active. You do videos all the time. They want the best of the best of the best being represented. So they will only raise those higher. So you have to do everything right. You can't have any dings on your record. You can't be like make 3 videos and then nothing for a year. You have to have proper social media and SEO. So it's a lot. You have to, because there's so many people doing it and so many people doing it well. They want the best of the best of the best promoted. So if you can tie into all kinds of links, like somebody's talking about you in a blog and linking you below. If the blog is mentioned on the video and then the blog mentions vice versa, you guys are interlinking, all that stuff. Yeah, anything. Blogs are just a very small part of it. If you can have anything linking, the biggest thing too is collaborations. That's another good way to get up there fast. So if you can find somebody, like say, for instance, I find another angler who's doing similar stuff to what I do. Say we both use missile jigs. Say I love missile jigs to death. They're my favorite jigs. I cash almost every check on them. I throw a missile jigs. I find another YouTuber's got 100,000 followers, which I don't. And I tell him, I said, listen, let's go fish together, or because we're both Missile pro staffers, and let's promote Missile together. What happens is all his 100,000 viewers have no idea who I am. I show up on his video, and he links me in his description below saying, oh, if you want to know more about Violet and check out her videos, click below. Well, I just got 100,000 new eyes on me that never knew I existed. What do you think is going to happen? Even if 10% of them come over, I only have about 1,200 YouTube subscribers. All of a sudden, 10,000 come over. That's 10%. 10,000 overnight. That's huge. So collaborations, but depending on who you're collaborating with, those people are caught on. Anybody who's got over 100,000 subscribers know that everybody's clawing at them to collaborate with them. And you have to be careful who you collaborate with, because you want whoever you collaborate with can hurt you or help you. So unless I continue to make videos, I'm not going to help that person, because they'll help me, but I won't necessarily help them. So that's like what happened with the Guggen Squad. You had John B, who started doing videos, and Alex Parrott came along. Those two were actively doing videos, and the other guys would come along. They would jump onto their videos, and then John B and Alex would jump into each other's videos, and that's how you do the cross promotion, and you get more eyes on you without having to pay for advertising. All you're doing is just showing each other's people who you are, and you automatic subscribers. That's the way to do it. But good luck, because everybody wants to collab with what they call collabing with everybody. And that's, people are going to be, and then sometimes they'll ask you to pay them. Oh, you want to jump on my video? Sure. Give me some money, because I know you're going to get subscribers from it.
Yeah.
So that's the way you do it. The interlinking, yes, this is all part of it.
Yeah. I've reached out to some people, and they've asked for us to pay them.
Yeah.
Some of them
it's all across the board.
What's that?
It's all across the board. I can't even tell you what the dollar amount could be. It could be anywhere from $100 to $10,000, and it's amazing. And some people will just do it for product. I get a lot of these merchandise things. I get a lot of people who say, Violet, if I give you some product, we'll just do a video. Or my favorite one of what I will do is an honest review. I said, do an honest review, good or bad. Do an honest review, and I'm like, all right, you're taking a risk. Yep. But I'm also going to be very professional about it, because they know who the kind of person I am. And I'm not going to sit there and say, this is our product sucks. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say, well, these are the pros and cons of the product, because I know you're trying to run a business just like I am.
Yep.
And if your product is terrible, I'm going to tell you first before I'm even going to do a video and say, do you sure you want me to make this video? Because I really have nothing good to say about it, which rarely happens.
Yep.
But I'm going to say, these are the pros and cons. And if you want an honest review, this is what it is. Let's work together to make sure we both promote. And because you do need honest reviews. Nobody's perfect. And if you always have 5-star reviews and you always have the best comments, people think there's something wrong, because they think, oh, you're paying people, which has happened in the past. That's how they know. People know liars. So if you have a couple where you got a couple 4 stars and a couple 3 stars and an occasional 1 star, it happens, but you're real. And that way people will actually promote you better, because they're like, well, this is a real person just like me. They want to relate to you. They want to live through you and relate to you, because they don't want to do it. They'd rather just watch you and get entertained by you, or learn something from you, which is that's the way I look at it. So I always like to teach people new things, or because I have no problem going out there and doing all the hard work. I'm not going to tell you my deep, darkest secrets, because I still need to win some tournaments and I want to cash some checks, but I'll eventually tell you. There's a topwater bait I don't want to tell anybody about that I absolutely love, and it destroys fish. If they're on it, you get some big fish. In a lot of places that nobody throws out here by me. And I'm not going to tell anybody about it. My partners know about it. And I pretty much told them, you're going to lose a limb if you tell anybody about them. But eventually I will talk about it once it gains popularity, because you can't keep a secret in fishing. You know how it is.
Oh yeah.
And then also some new stuff that I'm doing out on the waters I'm fishing on that are actually starting to come to fruition. But I got to be careful who I talk to about it, because there are people watching. But I still will give you a lot of stuff that I figured out, that I put the hard work in, that I'm willing to give you the shortcut. I have no problem doing that, because I'm looking at the bigger picture. I'm not going to win tournaments on some of the secrets, but I would rather teach you, because that'll gain me popularity, and I'm genuine with people, because I'm like, I did the work. I did the work, because you haven't heard about this anywhere else, and I know it's going to work for you. Go try it out, and then please come back if it does work for you, because now you know that I'm true and I'm going to do the work. So that's kind of the way you got to look at social media. Is this is what I'm providing for you. I'm really ready to share some stuff with you, whether you know about it or not, because there's always people that don't know. I mean, You could talk about how to rig a wacky worm. There are still a lot of people who do not know how to rig a wacky worm.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's why you see so many videos about it, or how to tie a Palomar knot, or how to rig a shaky head. I mean, a lot of people don't know how to do that. And they wanted and just think about it. That's a huge funnel that you can go at. That's another strategy. Do stuff that's already been done. There's nothing wrong with it. Just do it in your own way.
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
Another thing is you could also recycle videos. Just put up a different card.
Absolutely.
A teaser card or whatever.
Yeah, that's why don't ever get rid of raw footage. I have still all the raw footage for my videos. I might come back and say, well, there's a lot of footage I didn't use. Now I can go back and say, well, based on what I know now, because I didn't know it back then, I can actually use this for something else. But you do get inundated because there's a lot of, I see these people like do all these little cut scenes and whatever. And I'm like, how do they go through all that video and do that? And granted, there's some people who have a lot of downtime. I wish I did, because I would love to put out more videos, but it takes a lot of time. And, but yeah, you don't ever get rid of anything because you never know when it can come back.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who don't do all the work themselves. So
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I guess, I mean, one of the things I'd like to talk about is SEO, but that's just like a whole nother topic itself. So we'll say that for another day.
SEO. Yeah. And the problem is it always changes and nobody's going to tell you what works. So it's like doing your taxes, IRS won't tell you what you owe them, but you better be right or else they're going to The same thing with SEO. Google knows the algorithm. Most people in Google don't know what the algorithm is. They know bits and pieces. There are a lot of companies out there that create algorithms to figure out algorithms. But they're still not perfect because they don't release the algorithm, and the algorithm will change everywhere between 4 to 6 months or less, depending on what's going on. There are people who hack into algorithms, which causes the algorithm to change again. So it's constantly changing. One thing that's for sure. History. So the longer you are on the internet, the longer you're doing something, that gives you credibility. So yes, unfortunately, you cannot replace time. So if you have, say, I bought a website domain that's fishinggirl.com. It's a very common domain. You probably can't even get it. Say I bought that domain 10 years ago and I've been active on it. My website that's had that domain name for 10 years is going to outrank somebody else who just gets on the market because I've just been on longer, because Google's going to say, well, she's been on for so long and she's been active. She must be relevant. She must know what she's doing because she's been on there for 10 years. We're going to rank her higher because we're going to assume she has good stuff because she's gathered 10 years worth. That's one way of doing it. That's history. But you can't make that up. It's just, that's just going to happen. So say you're new, you just get on there. Second thing is like linking. You got to be linked to a lot of things and linked to a lot of credible sources. Overlinking, having your link in too many places will penalize you. But how many is too many? There were people who would, when they built a website, they would build a hidden page that nobody can get to unless you literally typed in the page name, which you didn't know because there was no link to it, where they would take the words like fishing, bass, lure, anything that they wanted to be found with, and they would put those words over and over and over and over again on one of their website pages that was hidden because it would still be picked up by the algorithm. So they would just continue to put the word fishing for bass or something on there so that when somebody put bass fishing, their page would come up first. And that was, I forget what they call it. It was a type of spamming. Well, eventually Google caught on to it saying, well, there's all these people who have these hidden web pages that have all these keywords on them. They're just over and over and over again, hundreds of thousands of keywords. They caught on to that. So then they penalized them. They ranked them lower. Some people started, there's people find go-arounds for everything. So that's why the algorithm keeps changing. So, but what is definitely going to work for you in SEO is you have to use terminology that is only relevant to what you're doing. Clickbait is no different than, like, for instance, I sell on a lot of my products on Etsy. I sell these plaques, I sell keychain signage, whatever. I'm not going to sell a plaque and then in the title say exterior signage for businesses. It's a plaque. It's meant to be put on a wall. It's one on a tournament or whatever. But because exterior signage on businesses is a hot item right now, I'm going to put that in my title of to get the SEO, to get somebody who's searching for something that's trending. to have my product pop up, even though it's not quite relevant to what they're searching for, because maybe they might see it and go, well, you know what? Now that I'm thinking of it, I could use one of those. That's an improper way to do SEO, because now with AI, AI can now recognize the photo of the product and say, well, that's not exterior business signage. That's something else. That's a plaque for a tournament. So it's going to know. So you have to use proper terminology when you're describing your product. Now, SEO, there's SEO in terms of video, SEO in terms of social media, SEO in terms of website. There's a lot of different SEOs. Websites is different. That's all about the terminology you put in your website. What you write in your website has to be just relevant. Use the words that you that are about whatever you're talking about, whatever the subject you're pertaining to. Only talk about that. And there's embedded tags. If you have any photographs on your website or on your social media, make sure there's a description on each photo that describes the photo, because there are a lot of tags that you can add to your photos that describe the photo for people who have disabilities or vision impaired. Those actually are picked up by the algorithm, so that helps the algorithm know what's in the photo. AI is not perfect, doesn't know the photo of a plaque perfectly, but if I put in, this is a photo of a wooden plaque that it says Big Bass of the Year on it, which is what's behind me over here. So this plaque on there, it could read the words on the plaque, but it may not know that this is a plaque. It may think that this is a sticker or a vinyl. So I'm going to put in the description, this is a photo of a plaque, blah, blah, blah. That will be picked up by the algorithm. So then, because that way then it narrows down results for people who are actually looking for it. So that's what it comes down to SEO. But it's yes, it can be very complicated, but the biggest thing is just be relevant to what you are talking about. Use terms. When you do Instagram posts, Facebook posts, add hashtags. Hashtags are how people find you. Make sure they're hashtags that are relevant to what you're talking about. I use the same hashtags on a lot of mine because I want all my sponsors to know that I am tagging certain products, and I want them to know that I'm putting out social media, that so they don't have to go looking for it. They get tagged. They know, oh, Violet posted something. Sometimes they don't have to see. They say, oh, she posted something. I'm in there. Because even though their product may not be mentioned, they want to know when I post, so they know how often I'm posting, even if their product's not, because I am part of their product, even though I'm not physically showing their product. It's on my jersey. It's associated with me. People see me, they think of that. So there's different ways of SEO, but SEO is, yes, it has become a very complicated beast. Most platforms, like if you make a website on Wix or a website on GoDaddy or anything else like that, or you create a YouTube video, a lot of SEO is actually made for you in the background by their AI or by their platform, because remember, they want you to be seen. If you're doing a good job, they want you to be seen. They want to sell ads on your platform. They want you to be out there because they want you to do well so they can make money off of you. That's really what it comes down to. But if you're going to, break rules, then they're going to penalize you. So with SEO, it's just proper terminology, spell things right. Don't misspell stuff. Represent and linking to other things that are popular, having people link to you. Have people mention you, hashtags, all of that. All of that does little baby steps to get you there. You can't just do one thing and it's going to get you there. You have to do a little bit of everything. And even then, you're not the only one doing that. There's a lot of people that are doing everything right. So what's going to make you stand apart from everybody else is your quality, who you are, and your uniqueness. And that's going to take time because people have to sift through all that stuff to find you. So, I mean, you have to get a little more specific on the SEO, like saying if you're SEO for a website, then we can dig deeper, but we can be here for years talking about that stuff and it's kind of boring, but a lot of times you can Google it.
Rob, just so you know,
don't hire a company.
Yep. Good point.
This is more of a labor
for the rest of your life. Nothing wrong with it. If you really need help, fine, but just know it'll never end. You're going to give them money and it's never going to stop because the algorithm changes.
Yep. And it's a moving target. And
it's the best business out there. You want to make money, start an SEO business, but you got to know what you're doing. Start an SEO business, get a bunch of people who know what they're doing with SEO, and you'll keep paying the bills because the algorithm constantly changing. It's like trying to keep a car running. You're always going to have to fix it. to the point where it'll keep running, but you're going to constantly pour money into it because it's not forever. I mean, that's just how it is. So, yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, another great show has come and gone.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a rough subject. It's not exciting. But sometimes I wish I had more questions because I knew what people would want to talk about and stuff. But it's it's not exciting. I'm just in it. That's why I know so much about it. Thanks, Pam. I appreciate that. Thank you for being such a good supportive person. It's rough. I mean, I would love to talk about fishing all the time, but there's a lot of stuff that people don't talk about when it comes to the fishing and marketing. I just wish we had more questions so I can get into what people really want to, because it's such a broad subject.
Yeah.
It is.
And I'm trying, like I said, I tried to focus on the income because a lot of people don't know how the income is made on the videos, especially. But we can dive deeper into that later on another time if people want to know. But it's marketing is not exciting, but you have to know how to do marketing because again, just putting your stuff out there ain't going to do it because you're just going to get disappointed. I hate to say it, you will, and you're going to burn out. And you may have something wonderful to show to people that people could truly benefit from, but if they don't see it, and they're not going to see it, you got to know how to get it out there. And it's a lot of everything that's going to get it out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And a lot of this stuff is done post-production, the description and stuff like that. Like the affiliate tips, you got to put them in afterwards. And
affiliate tips are one of the easiest things, but they only work if you can get it in front of enough eyes.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Anything else? Rob?
I don't think she covered it. I mean, it's like she says, there's a lot to it.
Everything. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. There's a lot to it. I mean, like I said, that SEO is like a moving target. You got a bow and arrow and you're trying to.
I don't even like the words. I don't like the letters SEO. I have to here's the thing. I have to do it on every product that I sell. And then here's the thing is with my SEO, because I just don't want to put something up there and pray. I have to first go and research products similar. And then I got to see, what's getting that person to the product and when's that product ready? I mean, it could take hours of research for one product. And then I got to put then here's the worst part. I forgot to mention this. You could do the SEO. You could put in all the terms or whatever. Now you have to wait 60 to 90 days to see if it worked minimum. So all the work you did, now you got to work 90 days. Now you don't know if it works. Now you find out after 90 days, does it work? Now I got to change. But what do I change it to? Because nobody can tell me what's going to work. So now I wait another 90 days to see if it works. Oh, it's hard. It's hard. So you got to do a lot of research up front. So the best thing is just do what you do, write a good description, make sure everything just falls in place. You got the right terminology, spell everything right, be professional, describe everything, use hashtags, use links, collaborate. That's all you can do. I mean, you're going to kill yourself otherwise. You can go crazy. And as you grow in your video and social media journey, do one thing at a time and just add things on. Just the biggest thing right now is resilience and persistence. Just stay the course and keep going.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I know one elite pros. He told me one time, said he did videos how to flip and pitch, and said he did one like you said, tying a knot, and I got the most views out of everything.
Yeah, because it could be the timing, and I mean it comes down to what time of the day. There's actually you can look up things where there's actually a lot of apps and there's a lot of online. Just Googling everything helps you. Just be careful with like scam artists out there. They're really coming on quite a bit. I'm getting a lot of them. There are some that I can spot a scam a mile away. I got people who send me emails all the time like, is this a scam? Is this a scam? And I almost got duped by one the other day, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. These guys are getting good. And it's scary. So you can Google a lot of this stuff and find little shortcuts. Absolutely. But again, it's like people are making money that way too. So they'll make a shortcut to help you with your SEO, but you got to pay. And so there's a lot of free stuff too. But don't take it all on at once. One thing is focus on content. Content is king. Have good content. That will be most of it. And then describe your content and do the little steps and make sure just that everything, it's the big picture and it all looks good, and then move on to the next thing. Worry about like SEO and all that stuff later, because again, a lot of that stuff's built in for you. They're just like I said, descriptions. The affiliate links are huge. Those are easy. That's easy money. If you start getting good views on your videos and do the affiliate links, that's easy money. That doesn't require, because then you're linking to Amazon or linking to Bass Pro, and that's linking back, and so that's a backlink. So that it's again killing 3 birds with 1 stone. So definitely,
absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Violet.
Thank you.
As always, it's a pleasure. I'm honored. Rob and I are both honored to have you on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe one of these days I'll talk some fish, and I'll just a little bit of fishing. I'm just kidding. I love it. It's good. I'm glad that I can tap into something that you guys don't really get from a lot of people, which is great.
Yep.
I just don't want people to forget that I fish too.
Oh yeah, they know.
Good.
They can look at your wall. They can look at your wall tail.
Oh. And there's not much on here compared to. I mean, I've only been tournament fishing for a couple of years, but yeah, there's not much on here. And yeah, I could always make a plaque for myself. I can make a bunch of my own plaques and just hang it up and say, "Hey, look at all the ones I won," you know. But no,
I think there's people done that actually.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah,
it's more fun earning the plaque. I wouldn't.
Oh yeah, it is. It is.
But yeah, no, it's good. I'm glad I can help you guys out with this stuff, and I know that. I just wish, as you guys get a following too, I try to help. We got to help each other out. I try to link you guys and whatnot.
Exactly.
As you guys get a following, you'll get more eyes. We'll get more questions. It'll happen. It's going to take some time. That's
absolutely.
all.
Absolutely. We always appreciate you coming on. You're always great information, and we love having you on.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
You guys have a good evening.
All right. Thank you for spending time with us.
Thank you. Take care.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks. And she knows her stuff, man. I tell you, I hope everybody had their pens and papers, because she had a lot of good tips there.
She did. And I just want to let you know, we do this because we enjoy it. We don't do this because we're planning on getting rich.
No.
Of course, if people wanted to throw money at us, we wouldn't turn it down. But
yeah, we're not millionaires. We're not millionaires. We're not pros. So
yeah. We have to keep our ethics and everything involved, so we do something. And
no drama. We don't have drama or clickbait. You're not going to find that here. Sorry.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Andrew. See you later, buddy. And thanks for everybody for tuning in. And peace out.
Peace out. Be safe.